What's up, and welcome to an episode of Kampai Crew, a podcast mostly about anime. I'm your host for today, Dan, and with me I have Jen.
Hi.
Drew.
Hello.
Jimmy.
Hi.
And Brian.
What's up, what's up?
So, today is a very sad episode. We're talking about Akira Toriyama and his passing, which is very unfortunate. But we all have very fond memories, so we're going to all talk through them. And to salute him, we're going to start off with a little shot.
And what do we have a shot of, Jimmy? Or Dan?
Well, Jimmy's got sake. Jimmy and Drew have some spicy sake. And me, you, and Jen. It's burning. Oh, you already tried it, right?
Drew didn't want to wait.
I was very excited.
It's just overflowing with love for Akira. And Brian, I, and Jen have Glenlivet 12-year whiskey. So, kampai.
Kampai.
Bye.
To Akira Toriyama. Mm. Oh, man.
Ooh,
That's
it's
whiskey.
good. Oh.
That is good. But yeah, I think, I can't believe it.
Everyone else is like...
It's been a year since we've recorded.
Wait,
Yeah.
it really has been,
Yeah.
it really has been a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time that we recorded was right before the Demon Slayer showing that they did last year,
Right.
where it was like the what was it, Swordsmith arc,
Yes.
and we kind of stopped after that, and just life and schedules just weren't matching up.
I've been recording. I don't know where it's going.
But
Yeah, I don't know. I guess part of it also was, life. I got a new job as well. Yeah, work.
you got a promotion,
Yeah,
so
so-
it kind of like put you on the weekends, and so it was just like
Yeah, it kind of pushed me back into a busier schedule also, so I was figuring that out. But also like I guess the technology part of it with recording, because when it came to the video, the way we have it set up is we use a webcam to record off of my 2018 MacBook, which is not super powerful, and we also have Audacity running in the background, so it was running the audacity of this computer to not work. So yeah, it didn't want to work too properly between the recording through OBS and Audacity. So I would have the video file, which would jump here and there, and then I would have the audio file, which was just straight through good. But I would have to do hundreds and hundreds of like little clips and edits to try to get the video to match up with the audio. So that's why today we're doing audio only. So maybe in the future we could figure it out. But it's just, I also didn't feel like making an investment at the moment to try to figure that out, because I have a gaming PC in the room, but that would also involve moving it somewhere, and I don't know how to set it up in the small one bedroom, but it's.
I mean, that's what we started.
We'll all be on the bed, just recording
That's where we started, baby. You know,
True, yeah.
We did start in the bedroom on the outside balcony table.
Yeah.
And every time we would move, it's like, oh my god.
We'll just do an aerial view for video instead, like we're playing poker. But today, so Akira Toriyama has passed at the age of 68, which is super sad. He was a part of all of our childhoods, and just, we kept with Dragon Ball growing up the whole time. And it's a real shame because he was 1 month away from being 69. So that's crushing to hear.
He just couldn't get that one more year, man.
Nah.
Pure.
That would have been
Yeah,
too pure.
Fun fact though, I saw this on TikTok the other day. Akira Toriyama was born on the year of the goat, and then he died the year of the dragon. How crazy. Isn't that fucking crazy?
He was the goat that brought us the dragon.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
But real quick, we actually have a special guest who's usually not on the podcast, our boy Drew.
Yes.
I know Dan mentioned him real quick before, but Drew, if you want to introduce yourself real quick. And
we could also start this way too, just go around talking about like what Dragon Ball has been to us, like, when you started watching, or how involved you are in it.
Usually we ask our guests, like, how'd you get into anime, but
specifically,
I feel like specifically today, just because of the circumstances, how has Dragon Ball had an effect on your life, or as a person as a whole?
Any of his works, I mean,
yeah.
I think it's mostly Dragon Ball, but anything.
Well, I mean, for me, it really was only Dragon Ball as far as anime went in the beginning. I started watching Dragon Ball when it came on Toonami, like most people did here in America.
Hell yeah.
And it was just one of those things where I'd see it when I would wake up or whenever, and then I just started getting really hooked on it because everybody was watching it at the time. And you know, you go to school, everybody's talking about it. All my family was into it. And then after watching it through, I want to say, to the end of the Cell Saga for a long time, because they didn't have like the Buu Saga air like immediately. Then I started seeing like the GT, like I'd say bootleg tapes. I got really into like trying to find those and then actually watching those. A lot of my cousins had them, so I was watching that a lot. And then after a while, Dragon Ball went away for a long time, for a very long time. And I always like would rewatch stuff, and you know, it was very important to me because it was just so cool. And then you had things like the AF, like the fake fan manga thing that would pop up, and I was always one of those kids that was always expecting that to really come out. And like,
Super Saiyan 5 when?
Like, I wouldn't believe, people would be like, dude, that's fake. I'd be like, you're lying. Dude.
This is bullshit.
It's right here.
Yeah. And then after the years, you know, it didn't come back until, you know, Battle of Gods. And then once Battle of Gods came out, I was just like, oh my God, like, Dragon Ball's back. You know, because I had saw the, what was it? What was the live action Dragon Ball?
Oh, Evolution.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It's not even that important.
Yeah.
Didn't the actor apologize on Twitter for that?
Yes, he
did.
Yeah.
I had seen that in theater, like, and that was
This isn't even Dragon Ball.
it wasn't, but you know, there was that little bit of kid in me that wanted to just like it anyways because it had the name Dragon Ball on it. I even bought it on Blu-ray.
That's a true fan right there.
Yeah.
Anything that has Dragon Ball on
And
it.
then
You pass that over and someone's like, what's that? You're like, nothing.
no, exactly.
Don't worry about it. You put it at the end of the...
It's a collector's piece.
You just put it behind all the other Blu-rays. You're like, don't worry, it's there, but...
And then, you know, Resurrection F came out, and then followed by that was Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
I want to say right after Battle of Gods came out, I like went back and I watched like everything, like from Dragon Ball, all the way down to GT, in both English and Japanese because I just had the time to do that for some reason. And and I'm kind of here now, tattoo on my shoulder and everything. I love this place. I love Dragon Ball.
I hear that.
We actually, all of us except for Jen at the moment have a Dragon Ball tattoo. Jimmy's got Vegeta, Majin Buu, or Majin Vegeta, sorry. You have Super Saiyan God, Goku. I got Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and then you have the...
I have Goku's kanji on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, you also have the Majin.
Oh, I do have the Majin symbol
that's
on my
right, you
hand
have
as well.
two.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He's a bigger fan.
Dude, it's so crazy when you brought up Battle of Gods because me and Drew met by working at ShopRite.
Yes.
And I remember just obviously like our friendship kindled off of just Dragon Ball. You know, I was like, he was like, you watch Dragon Ball? I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, oh shit. And then just from there, we would talk about Dragon Ball almost every day. I mean,
pretty much.
And then we even saw the movie in theaters with
Resurrection F.
Yeah, we saw Resurrection F, and I think we went. It was me, you, Nick, and who else came with us? There was one of the other runners.
Was it Tim?
Yes, Tim.
Okay,
Tim
yes.
came with us.
It was
Yeah,
Tim.
that's who it was. And I remember like that era of when Dragon Ball was. Everyone was like, "Whoa, there's new content. Like this is new, like a brand new story." Yeah. And it was continuing too. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is after the Buu saga. This is after." Well, I know they kind of said like, GT's its own thing or whatever. But
because everyone expected, they were like, "Are they going to tie it in? Are they going to ignore it? What are they going to do?" And kind of both.
Everything so far is all before the last episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
The last episode of Dragon Ball Z was it was a 10-year time skip from the death of Kid Buu. So everything that's taken place,
they still got a couple years.
Yeah, they still have a couple. I think they're actually like kind of right pushing it.
They're
now,
very close
because now with Goten and Trunks,
being like
teenagers.
Yeah,
they're like right there now. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much more they're going to push that.
Because Pan
Or
is
go
what,
past
3
it.
or 4 right now, or
Yes.
something. Yeah. And then how old was she? I forget. At the beginning of
like
At that 10-year time skip, she was what,
was she-
5?
She was almost as old as she is now for the 10-year time skip episode. And then GT, they aged her up a little bit more.
Is it
Yes.
like 10 or something?
yeah, I think she was
Yeah,
about
she
10.
was- she was-
so-
In GT, she was 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
yeah, no, it's getting there, but yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, the amount of weight on Toyotaro's shoulders now, because he's the one who's drawing all of
Yeah.
Super, and
He's the successor. Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's gonna be, I mean, really rough. You know, obviously he's gonna be the holy shit. He doesn't have anybody to go back to like revise stuff or kind of give him like hints like, oh, you should, or not hints, but like tips to draw, like, oh, you should draw it like this or this. And so now he's kind of got, I don't know how much control, you know, I'm not going to say full control. I'm sure there's other companies or people that have like a say in it, but
For sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully hopefully Toriyama had something laid out, you know, like a bulletin, like I want this to happen, or I don't know. We'll find out what happens. But I think the only thing that's coming out that Toriyama had any I guess input on was the Gaiman, or what's the new show coming out when they're all like kids?
Daima.
Gaiman.
Oh, Daima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's we don't know what's going to happen after that now. Is that airing this year or?
It's next year, if I remember correctly. I haven't looked at the date in a while.
Yeah, I don't know what the date is, but I mean they have a good amount of Super written, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know where it's gonna go, because they also took a break when they revealed. I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but when they revealed a Frieza moment, you know,
Yeah.
they kind of just went like, "What do we do now?" Because it put the manga in a weird spot where it was just like, all right, things are kind of, that flipped things on its head. So they kind of took a little break for a minute, and I guess they recollected. I don't know how far along they got with that in the planning stages. So it'll definitely be interesting to see, because then it's like, all right, well, did Toriyama plan this? You know, whatever comes out next, it's like, did Toriyama plan this or not? Because then a lot of fans will be like, oh, this would have been better if he did it, but who knows? He could have had the next year planned out once they took that little break.
Because I did hear that when I was looking, I think it was yesterday I saw this, was that apparently he was sick for like a year before this happening. So
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure how sudden the death was to him specifically,
Right.
but if he had a year of being sick, maybe, you know, he probably would have pre-planned stuff. This
At least bullet points.
Yeah, it's
hopefully.
tough to say. I mean, because bullet points was already what Toriyama was doing. He already kind of almost gave the majority of the control of Dragon Ball off to the Toyotaro based off of what he was doing with the manga. He only had like a real supervisor type of spot
Right.
with the manga. Most of what the manga's doing is all by the mind of Toyotaro. So I don't think there's much worry about Dragon Ball Super continuing, because it's already being done by somebody else. You know, Toriyama was only a backseat by the point that he died. So, I mean, that's a positive, I guess. If
You got to
wanna
tell
look at it
everyone
that
else,
way.
though.
Yeah.
People aren't going to think that.
People aren't going to.
That's the unfortunate part, yeah.
But and you know, Daima was penned by Toriyama as far as I know. So I'm sure there, and I know they did a lot of episodes. Apparently, that they already finished a couple of episodes. So there's stuff behind the scenes that we don't know of. So I'm sure there's some distance that he's, you know, foresaw with this whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say, really. We'll have to see, you know, as it all comes out.
Yeah, for sure. So, Jen,
Yes.
your history with Dragon Ball.
Oh man, I'm gonna end up crying.
Oh no.
So yeah, that was my first anime. Contrary to like people usually think it's Sailor Moon, because you know I hype up Sailor Moon a lot. But I like literally one of my first memories as a child was literally throwing a fit in a Macy's because my mom wouldn't buy me the VHS for the first episode of Dragon Ball. And she was like, it's for boys, blah, blah. But I threw enough of a fit that she bought it for me. And I wore that VHS down to the ground. Like, I watched that all the time. And yeah, my whole family is into it. Like, my brothers, my uncle, one of my uncles, he has like a half sleeve and his whole back all Dragon Ball. He had the biggest Dragon Ball Z collection I ever saw, because he had his little man cave, and there he had like the VHSs that made the pictures, and he had figures, he had everything. So like it was such like a vital part of my childhood, and like, you know, that was also something that connected me and my future husband. Like that was like a big reason of us like, oh my god, we have the same thing in common, like all this stuff. And like it's just crazy that like I don't know, like I feel like I'm still like in shock. It really meant a lot. Like, it meant so much. I'm trying not to cry. It really meant so much to me. And like, I don't know.
She doesn't want to say anymore because she's gonna cry.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insane how much of an influence Toriyama had on the world, and I don't even think he truly knew how much of an influence he had, because he was someone who really didn't use, like, he didn't have any social media or anything. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he just uses email to like to get in contact with whatever. So I mean, I can't even imagine he like just after his passing the next day. I mean, there was so many countries and like prime ministers or presidents or whoever, and they were like, oh, today's a national mourning of Akira Toriyama, and you're like, holy shit. Like the whole country has a day of mourning for Toriyama, and
yeah, insane.
And I mean, you can't even count how many mangaka today have been influenced by Toriyama's creation. I mean, I know Oda, creator of One Piece, made a statement, and I think he even said that, oh, I hope that heaven is just as you drew it in your creation. I know, man. I was like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
And then even Kishimoto, creator of Naruto, was like, oh, I remember when I met him for the first time, I was speechless, and again, you can go. The list goes on. There would be so much or so many different anime or manga that just wouldn't exist if it wasn't for, Toriyama's creation. It's insane.
You saw a lot of mangaka coming out and saying literally that, like, anime/manga wouldn't exist as it does without him, or it would have been completely different, or my work wouldn't have existed. So it was weird to see the people who were like, it would have been fine. And it's like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like how many mangaka reference Dragon Ball or consume Dragon Ball or were inspired by it. You don't. If you look
every
through,
manga has the Vegeta and Goku trope.
like every few, character archetypes, everything. I mean, even if you look through a few of the modern anime you watch every season, there's going to be a reference in some way to it.
I don't know if anybody's noticed this exactly, but has anybody paid attention to Naruto's color scheme?
Yeah.
Like,
it's pretty direct.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And I seen Kishimoto. In his statement, he actually said that he wanted to create a character that would stand out in the same way that Goku did.
Yeah.
Like that was like one of his main like ideas behind his creation of Naruto, was he wanted the character to pop. And Goku's characters, his colors and all that stuff, that it pops. He stands out. You see Goku and he's the main character when you look at him.
Yep, and Sasuke with a very similar color scheme to Vegeta as well.
Yeah, it's right in front of your faces.
Yep. You got Deku and Bakugo, same thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green Naruto.
Yeah. Green Naruto, Green Goku. Yeah. But so I guess I'll go next with just how I started with Akira's works. So one of the first memories I had was when I was 3. Watching the Saiyan arc. Well, like the first couple episodes with Raditz coming to Earth. And I don't know what the hell was going on, because that was one of the first things I consumed, period. But I was just like, this is so cool. Like, me, a 3-year-old little boy, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, but like they're fighting and this is cool and they're yelling and I'm like, yeah. So and then I just could not stop. Yes, I could not stop watching it ever since then. But even Goku inspired me to, as a kid, like in preschool, I would see, like, I remember specifically I saw this one kid getting picked on by like 2 other little kids, and because he had a speech impediment, so it was kind of fucked up, but they were picking on him because he had a speech impediment. But I was just like, in my little,
was it me?
Goku, it was you. Yeah, it was. In my little Goku riddle brain, I was just like, let me stand up to them, and then I beat them up, and I got in trouble. But like,
oh yeah,
but I was like,
hell yeah,
you're being mean. I was like, stop it, and they were like, no, and I was like,
started screaming. Took him 7 episodes.
It took a lot of days of school, but we eventually
we got to find it.
The janitor walked by like, you're still here?
Yeah.
I just said, yeah.
So yeah, inspiring good and I guess also bad in a way behavior, but like, I just kept watching from there. That was something that I would go back to. Once Dragon Ball Z finished, I would go back and rewatch it, and later high school days just rewatch all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Quest, his art is used for that as well. Dragon Quest 9 on the Nintendo DS, I put like probably a couple hundred hours into, but like what initially drew me to that was just his illustrations. Like whenever I would see his art, I would get pulled in. I don't know. He is what got me into anime. Anytime I would see anything anime coded since watching Dragon Ball, I was like, I'm in. And I wouldn't have most of the interest I do now without Dragon Ball, without Akira Toriyama.
And to bounce off like the Dragon Quest, he also did the character design for Chrono Trigger, which till this day is still considered one of the greatest JRPGs of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you say that about anybody? I mean, he's got like one of the most popular, influential manga of all time. He's got 2 game franchises, which are, again, super popular in not only Japan, but, throughout the whole world. And, he's got all these accolades. It's just nuts, dude.
And even literally, it got brought up recently, but Cloud was inspired by Team Gohan. And then when you look, it's just like, oh, that's just... You look back at the PS1, you're like, oh, that's just Gohan.
Yeah,
when you look at the character model.
Pretty much, yeah. I actually never noticed that until I saw that post that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, I'm also a massive Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 being, like, literally either my favorite or second favorite. So, like, I've stared at that character model. I can't even tell you how many hours of my life, and I never saw it until I saw that post. And I was
can't unsee it either.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was right in front of my face all this time.
That is Super Saiyan 1 Team Gohan. Yep, 100%.
I think even the character designer for Tails from Sonic, they said that they designed the friendship of Sonic and Tails based off of Goku and Vegeta. They were like, I want them to have this kind of...
Well, Sonic is just Dragon Ball.
I know, but I'm just saying, like
it
just specifically like just their friendship. They were like, I just created it based off of Goku and Vegeta. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, right.
Because Tails, like,
I know. Listen, that's what they said. So I'm
more like Tails or Sonic and Knuckles.
I say Sonic and Shadow.
Yeah, true.
But that influence with Sonic's actually a very crazy one. That one, I actually noticed that one myself.
I mean, Super Sonic.
I looked it up on the internet because I was randomly just laying in bed one day. I was like, wait a second. I was like, wait a second, hold up. And I pulled up Google and I'm like, oh my God, how did I not notice this before? It's like Super Sonic actually debuted, I think it was within a week or two or to a month after the Super Saiyan transformation debuted in Japan.
The people of Sonic write this down.
And then there's the whole thing.
Literally, because they probably read the manga and they were like, yo,
the Super transformation with the gold hair. And then there's the 7 Dragon Balls with the 7 Chaos Emeralds.
Yep.
And then there's just a lot of different moments that happen throughout the Sonic games that are like almost directly like scene by scene ripoffs of something that will happen. Very, very, very similar.
Yeah, literally floating in his little ship.
But that Sonic Dragon Ball connection has been a thing for a while, especially with the Super Saiyan, because that was a direct tribute that they did immediately after that debuted in Japan.
So cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Did you guys ever see that Sonic meme?
Which one?
Which one? There's a lot.
To varying degrees of appropriateness.
It was Knuckles. He's like, look into the fire. You can see your spirit animal. And Sonic looks in there. It's a little hedgehog. And then Shadow looks in there. It's a hedgehog with a gun.
Hell yeah!
I love that. So Brian, how'd you get into his works?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a little repetitive, but me being a little boy going home watching Toonami and. This show called Dragon Ball Z came on, and I was like, dude, what is this? And I was just sitting there watching it, and a bunch of these overly muscular men just beating the shit out of each other. I was like, this is awesome. And I mean, dude, it's crazy. When you think about it, you just look back and just how much you've watched the show. You know what I mean? Like just every night, and you know you obviously there's the huge meme where Goku's like powering up the spirit bomb, and it's like 5 episodes, and you know, but as a kid you're just like, oh my god, is this gonna happen this episode? And it's just like next time you're like, no. And then
also shout out to the announcer in English and Japanese. They're both so hype.
oh my god,
So
Dragon
good.
Ball Z.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that was good. Dude, the quotes that they would come up with, you know, it's just crazy. I mean, like when Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2, and it's just like, you know, we've seen this explosive power from Gohan when he was just a little child, when he fought Raditz, and then of course when he fought Frieza, and he's like, now the beast has been unleashed, and you know, whatever, something.
Yeah.
They would have those
So hype.
awesome lines where you're like, holy shit.
It was like WWE levels of hype.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that Brian actually has tattoo of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
When the transformation happened.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Which
Such a
we'll be
dope
talking into favorite transformations a little later on also.
I used to skip those.
Skip the what?
Yeah.
The intro and outro? You're
What?
a monster.
Oh my
You're a
God.
monster.
Dude.
I got places to be.
No.
As a
when
child?
you were a kid?
Yeah.
Hell
I
nah.
had things to do.
Hell nah.
Unreasonable.
But yeah, I mean, even as I got older, Dragon Ball would kind of switch more to like Adult Swim. I think for a time it was
Yeah,
like Adult Swim, or like, because I know they did like that hour or two where it would be like Bleach, or I remember they had like Boba.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? It was like, but it was 1 a.m. It would like at 1 a.m. it would Bleach and that Dragon, whatever would show up, right? And I remember staying up and being like, I gotta watch Dragon Ball. And but dude, I mean, even today, I can't even count how many times I would come home from work or something, and I'm just like, you know what? I just feel like watching the Gohan versus Cell fight, or I feel like watching Boo versus Vegito. You know,
Broly versus Gohan.
Yeah.
Started playing in the background.
Oh my god.
Oh, hell yeah.
Where would Ian Bees be?
I've randomly had like watch parties of that with my friends. Like where it'll be like
Down with sickness playing.
like I'd be home watching one of the fights, and then like a friend would want to come hang out, and I'd be like, listen man,
I'm
watching Dragon Ball right now. And then he'd come over, and then he'd literally sit there and watch it with me. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
happened multiple times.
I've started something I can't stop.
You have to restart though, because he's like, I didn't see the beginning.
He's like, okay, that's fine.
That's actually has happened. Yeah, that's happened before.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I mean, what could I say? I fucking love the show so much. We all do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But Jimmy, if you know, you're up, man. What? How about you? Same way?
Never watched it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, no.
He says with the Dragon Ball tattoo and shirt.
I will say I've never seen Super.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm still surprised by that. I've never checked in. You
I
mentioned it, but
Wow.
insane.
When you said that, I looked at Drew and he just went, no. No, he didn't just say this.
Very shocked.
I've never seen Super. I've
Bro.
only seen parts of it. I've seen the new movies though. But my favorite is the Boo saga.
Okay. Going into favorites. Okay.
Well, it's like that's the one I grew up on. Like me and my
Yeah.
brother used to stay up late at night, and like when we started watching it, that's like I never saw the Super Saiyan saga up until that. It was just straight into the Boo saga.
Yeah.
You know, Toonami, you can't go back.
Right.
True.
So-
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the topics too. We're going to talk about favorite arc. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
like,
the Boo saga for you.
Yeah, I didn't see like the Super Saiyan arc until I got older. When like I bought the copies of it, I was like, oh, I'm not watching now. So me and my brother used to stay up until like 1 a.m. because we used to share a room, so we'd fucking watch Trigun, and then we'd watch Dragon Ball Z, and it was always like the Boo saga, and that's like one of my favorite sagas
Yeah.
of Dragon Ball Z.
Boo is definitely sick. I mean, and you got Ultimate Gohan out of it. You got Fusion, actually adapted
Yeah.
into the show. It was sick for sure.
Yeah, Mythic Gohan, of course.
Mystic?
Mystic? Is it
Yeah.
Mystic or Mythic?
Mystic.
That's essentially ultimate.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you got so many different. I mean, Super Saiyan 3, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
One of the most hyped transformations also.
Literally, that's my favorite.
What?
Super Saiyan 3?
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 3?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
It's
Isn't that the one where he has, like, the longer hair?
my
Yes.
fault.
Yes.
That one.
I love it.
I hate
It was
that one.
such a it was so
Dude,
hype. I
it's
literally
so
remember like watching it on TV and being like, "Holy shit, this is happening! Like
I-
this is crazy."
I think it would have been cooler if he didn't have fucking hair out of nowhere.
I like it.
I hate it.
All
It was
the
like
energy
so
had to go
slay.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Slay.
it was so slay.
What about you, Drew? What was your favorite arc from and this is across all Dragon Ball, like in the whole.
Yeah, so we're gonna go through favorite arcs and favorite transformations.
So should I add transformation to that now, or are we doing that after?
Yeah, sure. Well, Jimmy, what's your favorite transformation or form?
Majin Vegeta.
Makes sense.
Totally tattooed on
One
his arm.
tattooed, yes.
Let me take a look real quick.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta.
That makes sense. Any like particular reasoning or just like
Just that's like I feel like that was like the turning point for him, where like he always wanted to be better than Goku, and then he was kind of like, you know what, I don't want to do it this way. I want to do it my own way. And he's like, fuck you guys, I'm just gonna blow myself up.
I guess that was
I'm not
kind
gonna
of
let you take me over. I'm just gonna fucking blow myself up. Now.
That skipped a lot of steps.
Well, you know, he's like, I want power. So like, we'll give you power. And they're like, well, now we're gonna control you. He's like, no, I'm just gonna kill myself now,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna take this guy out with me.
Too bad Vegeta didn't know that Goku
came
had
back
Super
anyway.
Saiyan 3 at that time, and he just he thought he was equal terms, and Goku was like, nah, man.
Well, I was just like, I'm back anyway.
such a dick move.
I'm like a diehard Goku fan, so that's one fact. Whenever I get into like an argument with like a Vegeta fan, like I will hold that over their head because they'll be like, "That's the one time where like Vegeta had him," and I'm like, yeah,
No, he didn't though.
sure, buddy. Like that's what you really think.
Did you see the new movie?
Dude, I remember the back and forth he would have with Tim, where he was like, "No, bro," and you're like, "Dude, Goku literally does this."
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was crazy.
I miss those days.
But yeah, if you want to go on about your favorite arc and
Yeah, my favorite arc is actually the Buu arc as well.
Hell yeah.
And
Okay.
it's for a lot of the reasons that Dan stated, because I feel like that's when Dragon Ball fully like got its identity. to
It became
max.
its most Dragon Ball self, like right
Yeah,
there.
because that's when when people think of Dragon Ball, they often think of
Say it, man.
They, yes,
Hell yeah.
they think of Saiyaman. They think of
Oolong.
they think of the different Super Saiyan transformations, and Dragon Ball Z, the max was Super Saiyan 3. So you have all the transformations by that point. You have fusion by that point. Fusion's pretty much. So I'm a Goku fan, but like to a larger extent, I'm a Gogeta fan.
Okay.
Now, while Gogeta wasn't in the main series, he was in the movies, it's still like, Fusion was introduced then in the Buu saga. So you get Vegito and you get Gogeta.
Gotenks.
Gotenks.
yeah, man.
I can't believe they introduced Gotenks and not Gogeta in the main series. They were just like, we'll do something else.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what
Yeah.
I can't believe, Dan? I can't believe they didn't bring Super Saiyan 4 from GT.
right before it came out.
Before it came out.
No.
No, but like even like I'm annoyed they never made that canon. That's such
Who
a cool
knows?
transformation.
Yeah, maybe one day they'll tie it in. But again, with Toriyama gone, even though Toyotaro pretty much has the reins, who knows how fans would react if they brought it in? They'd be like, "You wouldn't want this."
If you would,
If I'm to be honest, I think that
don't you dare.
without Toriyama around, there's more of a chance of Super Saiyan 4 appearing now
Okay.
than there was
I
before.
take that back. You
I-
can't dare.
I feel like he would be the one to shut that down since it's not his design and not his Super Saiyan transformation. It was somebody completely else because GT was mainly done by somebody else.
It was just a whole third party, and then he oversaw and approved
Exactly.
pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, what Super Saiyan 4, interestingly enough, is my favorite
Hell yeah.
transformation.
Oh,
It
okay.
always has been. I used to have it as my wallpaper on my phone for years. Like Super Saiyan 4 is just such.
Well, they got rid of the great ape. It's like,
But
Yeah.
how are you gonna get rid of their lineage? And meanwhile, they come out with that. It's like that's part of their like
Yeah.
transformation. It's like half great ape, half.
They thought
Saiyan.
about that transformation. There was
Yeah.
a lot of love and care put into
A
that.
lot of
Like
it.
you could tell people who made GT, however the production went, like they really loved Dragon Ball, and they really tried to incorporate.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Fucking
original.
biker Vegeta
Listen,
as Super Saiyan 4. Come on.
I will die on the hill that I don't care what people say. I actually have a sweet spot for Dragon Ball GT. And
It's so good.
the reason for it for me is specifically because like I said when I did my introduction, I had to find GT through like random like bootleg tape. It was it was almost like a legend. When I
Because it
was
was so
when I was a
hated.
kid. I mean, the internet wasn't the same way it was now. So just going on the internet and watching an episode of GT wasn't even part of the question. But I knew it existed. I knew it existed because there was I knew about the game. There was a Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. I knew about that.
Wasn't it in Tenkaichi also? Super Saiyan 4?
Yes, but this was after it had already premiered here in America. The show GT. But when I was watching GT, it wasn't even close to coming here yet.
Oh,
And then-
you had broadband as a kid.
Well, I had access to the tapes.
Shit.
My cousins had a few, and my neighbor across the street from me who moved like in my childhood, he had a few. So I managed to just like get a couple that I could like watch, and couldn't understand nothing. It was all in Japanese.
Yeah.
But like I was like, wow, like there's this whole aspect of Dragon Ball that like, you know, I'm seeing at the time. I'm like in like maybe 3rd grade. None of my friends knew about none of this. I mean, they heard of it just like how I had heard of it, but none of them had seen it. So it was like this special treasure that I had, that I was able to watch this like extra Dragon Ball that no one else had seen at the time.
Like, don't worry, Vegeta's gonna make it.
Yeah.
Goku's gonna make it. They're in the next one.
That's his One Piece.
That was a very interesting experience for me. And then, as you mentioned, it eventually showed up in the Budokai games.
Yeah.
So Budokai 3 was the first one that had the GT portions included into it. So I got to do the... I'll never forget, like, I had fallen asleep. I was playing the game. I had beat somebody. Fell asleep after beating the person. Woke up, and on my screen when I woke up was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta versus Omega Shenron. And he's like kicking my ass because I was sleeping. Like I guess like it just happened in like the transition from me sleeping to waking back up. Like
I've died like 15 times.
Yeah, like so, like and then seeing that for the first time. That was the first time I had ever seen Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta because the tapes I had didn't go that far.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, whoa, like what is happening right now?
What the
So,
hell
like,
happened?
I was like, he has red hair. Like what? Like,
One of the coolest
got a
looking
tail.
characters ever.
so Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is probably my favorite, absolute pinnacle of favorite characters out of the Dragon Ball franchise. Because for one, red's my favorite color. He had red hair before anybody else had red hair, and I thought that was super cool. He was sparkling, he was glittery. I'm like, look at this guy. Look at his vest.
Look at his fur vest.
Don't forget the tight spandex pants.
Oh, no, Gogeta. No, Vegeta had those. Gogeta went with the nice baggy fusion.
Yeah,
pants.
yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
He's probably the coolest looking Dragon Ball character.
He's super cool. He's super cool. I mean, Gogeta, you know, he was in the Fusion Reborn movie, which was his first introduction to the series, and like, I mean, look at him in that movie.
I think I like Super Saiyan Vegito better than Super Saiyan Gogeta.
Don't do that to me.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah.
I can see
Something
the
about it.
vision, though. I can see the vision.
Like stylistically, I like Super Saiyan Vegito better than Gogeta style wise. But Super Saiyan 4, the best.
Oh yeah, Super Saiyan 4 is amazing.
Now who's cockier, Gogeta or Vegito?
Vegito.
By far.
Vegito.
Hell yeah.
But you do get upset when he doesn't kill someone.
Yeah.
What was it in
Gogeta in Fusion Reborn, he didn't. I don't know. There wasn't much character to him, I guess, but he was just there to like get shit done.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were like, okay, how do we beat what's his name?
Janemba.
Yeah, Janemba. I couldn't put it on. Yeah. He was like, all right.
Stardust Breaker.
they were like,
so cool.
we got like maybe 5-10 minutes of runtime left. We need to hurry this up. And he's like, all right, Fusion, you know. But yeah, I mean, come on. You go back to the Buu saga, and he's just like, I'll fight you with my arms crossed, and obviously your figure up there.
Yeah, I think I liked how like overwhelmingly he was stronger than Buu, and it was just like not even remotely an issue. I like how the Super Saiyan form looked with that outfit and everything.
Oh yeah, it popped.
Yeah.
It was very nice. Just the all blue fit.
Yep,
And then
with the white gloves and the...
And then he even like his hairstyle, like because they're their own people, the fusion.
Yes.
So like he has like this the way his bangs are is different than
the
Goku's
double
and
bang?
It's fire.
Yeah.
It's fire. It was a nice look. I got to give him that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, who's next? Jen?
Jen, favorite arc and form or transformation?
Well, I already said Super Saiyan 3, my favorite, just because I just literally remember how I thought it was so cool. Jimmy, what the fuck you snickered about? He's like, women are talking.
No, under my breath I said,
oh yeah, he's slay. That's why. But yeah, like just because like literally I remember how much of an impact that had on me when I was a kid. I was just like, what the coolest fucking thing. But as for my favorite, Cell Saga. That's my favorite.
Hey, that's very understandable.
Let's
yeah,
go.
no, I loved and feared Cell. When I was a kid, I literally was so afraid of him, but I couldn't stop watching.
Is
Yeah.
it because he used to hit people with his butt?
Yeah, like, and then like whenever he would like stab people with his tail, I felt like I felt it, and I was like, oh. So like I just imagined like getting a shot from the doctor, how it would feel, but 10 times worse. And I was just like,
Cell is the
oh my god.
But then you die.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, but then death, like, and it was just like I literally remember I would also watch it like on the phone with my with like one of my friends. Like we'd be like one of my little guy friends. We'd be like, "Oh my god, do you see what's going on?" Like we'd put the TV. Yeah, it was like, dude, but like literally like that was like that one like had such an impact on me. I just like literally some of like the clearest memories I have when I was a kid. I was just like so scared of him.
No, what you do for Jen? Didn't they come out with a game for Dragon Ball where like you're a civilian while Cell's attacking?
Oh,
Like a horror game.
Oh my
yes,
God.
yeah.
It was
I'd be so scared.
It was, yeah.
I've never heard of
Breakers.
Breaker. It was like the dead. It's the Dead by Daylight Dragon Ball
Okay.
version.
Okay.
And everyone was like, "What the fuck is this, bro?"
We should get that for Jen.
Cell hunting you.
Oh,
in a video
God.
game.
Yeah.
My childhood fear come true.
No, Cell's introduction was very
Yeah.
scary, actually. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they showed the guy legitimately just suck like the
life
essence.
Yeah.
out of, you know, and they were just like just I don't even know, like a deflated mess of clothes, and then before it was just clothes. Like,
Yeah, I was
Oh
gonna
my
say
God.
you have that scene where it's like panning through the city and just
Yeah.
everyone's clothes
Well, how would
the rapture just happened
Yeah.
or something and
How would you rather go though? Chocolate or sucked up by a butt?
chocolate because
Chocolate.
exactly, dude. I'm not
Yeah.
getting a fucking tail impaled in me and I'm just like
But how do you know they don't feel getting eaten?
I don't know, bro. I'm not sure.
Maybe they're chocolate and they can feel every single bite.
I still feel like getting drained would hurt more.
Getting drained.
since we
In a different way.
I'll
What's
just
going on
take my
over there,
chances
Jen?
with chocolate. I'll take my chances and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
So sitting there like, yo, he's stuck in the slime. Hey, yo.
Yeah, literally. That's a little sus.
Give me a minute, I'm sucking.
Piccolo rolled up and was like, "Yo, bro, stop sucking, man." But yeah,
You're stuck in
no,
all these people here.
you're not making it as
You
scary
sucked the whole
anymore.
city off.
Piccolo
That's
pulled
it.
up and he was like,
That's gonna be
"It's
the-
my turn now."
That's gonna be the preview clip.
Hey yo.
yeah,
That's gonna be the preview clip on Instagram.
yeah, there
It's
you
like a
go.
picture of Cell.
Sucking the whole city.
He's sucking the whole city off.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Scary.
you
What's
scary.
your
Stop, I'm gonna
favorite-
suck you.
Wasn't it your favorite too?
Yeah.
Because of the suck.
Unrelated to the sucking. Jimmy. Yeah, no. Cell Saga was my favorite also. I love the way you suck. No, it was just cool. So I'm also lumping in like the Android Saga 2 a little bit
Oh,
because
the
like
Android
It all counts.
yeah,
God,
like
yeah,
fucking
true, yeah.
like same thing with like the Namek Saga. I'm like I count like all the Ginyu Force shit.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
all
So,
Namek, Frieza
yeah.
plus Ginyu and all that like
I
Namek
always
Saga.
lump them.
I
Yeah.
think the way it's divided up is usually paired that way anyway. So
Yeah. So Cell Saga, including the androids and everything, it was just cool between I guess seeing Vegeta transform to a Super Saiyan for the first time was just
Yes.
like, oh shit.
yeah,
Like you didn't fully know like are they kind of fucked or like like how's it gonna be? Is it gonna be a friend or and just seeing Goku be a stupid idiot. And not
A stupid idiot.
and not treat his heart virus. He's like, I'll be fine.
Oh, fine. Super Saiyans don't die.
But even just the introduction of Trunks, which was super cool. It was like, oh, there's another Super Saiyan because like. I mean, we experienced it in America, so we saw the intro where we saw Trunks in the credits transforming into a Super Saiyan. So you kind of like, spoilers, you knew like he was going to be a Super Saiyan, but it was still so cool to see happen.
I love the abridged.
Abridged?
Yeah, when they first beat Trunks.
How does that go?
I
I haven't watched it in years.
Oh,
yeah, I haven't seen that in years.
I just love the one part where like he's like, "Who the fuck's wearing the pink shirt?"
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you got Vegeta in a pink shirt. I mean, how else are you going to do that?
Bad man.
Bad man.
Bad man.
Hell yeah.
So sick. But yeah, I mean, then once you get to the androids who are overwhelming the Z fighters to begin with, and then you get to Cell, where it's just like that Cell killed future Trunks to get there, you know, and stole his time machine just to get there. And then sucked off a whole city to get to gain some strength back. And his first fight with Piccolo was just so cool because then when you see him use the Kamehameha, you're just like, oh shit, he's got other people's moves. And
Yeah.
And the regeneration, bro.
Yes. Yeah, and
that
then-
was the frightening part. You're like, holy shit.
once
this
you get his
monster's
backstory,
got-
and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the cells of other fighters. You're like, oh shit. You're like, that's not great. That's not good.
He sucked them all.
And it can bake really well now from that one baker he sucked off in the city.
Imagine that he's like sitting there.
I
waiting for
forgot about the
fuck-
bakery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about
Wait, was there I just said that. I don't know.
I feel like there was. I am almost positive there was.
He
If
definitely,
not, then in the Majin Buu saga.
no,
He's
he,
just sitting
he
there.
definitely broke into some sort of building.
You know what? That is what it is. It's the Boo saga.
Okay.
It's the Boo saga I'm thinking.
Because he also went into a city and
Yeah.
Sucked them all.
he absorbed, yeah.
Well, no, because Fat Boo was
He
like,
put all
"I
the
want
he put the whole
sweets."
city inside of him.
Yeah.
You know, like how he set up like the arena, like everyone's waiting, he's waiting for the fight, he's just baking them some fucking croissants. Like, here's have a couple croissants before I suck you off.
Oh,
Yeah, that
oh God.
that was the cool part too. Not the sucking. That was the
We
cool
gotta
part
get
too,
off
though.
this topic, bro.
Just like incorporating some of the other people's characters into him, you know, just like the pride of a Saiyan, you know, once he got into his perfect form to let people kind of do whatever. And he's like, I fucking got this. Who cares? You know, like the Saiyan pride. And also like the, well, I guess combined with like Frieza, just like, I'm the fucking strongest, you know, you don't have shit on me. So I'm going to play around with you in a Cell game. But even before that, just seeing him be intelligent in his first form and, you know, strategize and make tactful retreats when he realized he couldn't, you know, I guess using more of like Piccolo's brain and being like, I don't have this right now, let me recoup or whatever, but with villainous intent. It was just super cool. And then favorite transformation, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So
That's fair.
yeah,
That's
I mean, they teed it up so well where they just it was a slow burn where they were just like, all right, Vegeta is going Super Vegeta, so he's going, you know, the most muscle mass he can see feasible to use,
Yeah.
and still kind of maintain speed, and that was pretty much the pinnacle of Super Saiyan was what Vegeta did.
Yeah, they call that Super Saiyan Grade 3.
Yeah,
There's like a whole... So there's... Super
or is that
Saiyan-
2? Or is 3 Trunks? Because
You're
Trunks
right.
was
No,
the
you're
I was-
right,
I was
yes.
gonna
Grade
say
3 is
Trunks.
Trunks. And
Yeah.
Grade 2 was Vegeta. And Grade 4 is Super Saiyan 2. They had that name scaling before they just said Super Saiyan 2 and called it that.
Yeah.
The Super Saiyan 2 title actually came later on. As per the episode when he becomes Super Saiyan 2, they don't give it a name at the time.
right.
And,
Ascended.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And then in all like the guidebooks that came out around that time, it was all called Grade 4. Only later when Super Saiyan 3 was introduced, then they gave the title Super Saiyan 2 to what Gohan did. Because then they also had to explain the form that Goku and Vegeta were using.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how that all went.
Right. Sidebar, Jimmy, do you have to cut out?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I can.
Because it's going to be a while longer, so I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I'll cut out now.
Okay, yeah. Let me just put a pause. Let me...
Bye, Jimmy.
Bye.
Well, yeah. Let me say
We just
Okay, so Jimmy has somewhere to be. Jimmy has to go, so we'll continue on with Adam. But Jimmy, any last words? Actually, yeah, I guess words for Toriyama or just Dragon Ball in general.
I loved it. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan sucks.
You're the worst.
How you gonna end on this note, bro?
Little
no.
Majin Vegeta had to get some power from a little gray Yoda-looking wizard to even try to come close. So, I mean,
Yeah, well, you know, Gohan got trained by a little old green lizard, so
he's not that old. He looks great.
that's great for it. No, I love Dragon Ball Z. I probably wouldn't have gotten to anime without Dragon Ball Z. That was the first anime I ever watched. I never saw it full through because I've never seen Super.
But Dragon Ball Z,
That's
yeah.
gotta change.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
watch. I don't watch things. I read them now.
So then just read Super.
It's a
True,
lot.
it is kind of different too, which is wild, but
It's a lot. It's a lot to read.
it's not that much.
But no, I love Dragon Ball Z. I think you texted me as I was waking up. Like you texted the group chat as I was waking
Yeah.
up. And I just looked at my phone like half asleep. I'm like, who died?
Uh,
And then like it took me a second to get the name. I'm like, oh, it's horrible. And I went back to bed. And then like I woke up and I'm like, was that a dream?
oh
And I
no.
was like, oh no, that was reality.
Yeah. No, it's wild to think.
Because I remember when I think it was like 10 o'clock and like I was fucking like knocked out. I'm like, oh no, it's real.
Yeah.
It's very sad. They definitely. I don't care what anyone says. That there would be like no anime without him.
Not even close to the same. Yeah.
There would just be no anime.
It'd be all
Erased before.
It'd be all isekais and fucking romance.
God.
There'd be no.
See, I don't even know if Isekai would be where it was without
But
him.
really, like there would be like no Naruto. There'd be no
One Piece.
Yeah, One Piece. No My Hero. None of that shit. Like that. Frame by frame, like Drew said, like almost frame by frame, Naruto is Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Like fucking One Piece, they're different, but like My Hero.
But still, he
fucking
quoted him
Dragon
as an inspiration. Yeah.
There wouldn't I don't watch English My Hero, but there wouldn't have been a Vegeta voice in My Hero if it wasn't for
Yeah,
All
right.
night.
Very true. So
Jimmy's gone.
yeah, Jimmy is gone. But getting
We took him out.
we took him out. We took him outside. Getting back to Super Saiyan 2, I like how they laid the seeds, like I was talking about with Super Vegeta. And then Trunks thought he was doing something with Super Saiyan Grade 3 with his big muscles. But I do like that they also showed the parallel in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber where Goku was like, yeah, I can make my muscles all big and stuff. And Gohan's like, wow, you're so powerful. And he's like, powerful, yeah. Like, technically I'm probably stronger, but like, I'm not going to hit this guy. Like, no way.
Yeah.
So, but Trunks didn't know that because, I mean, he was still kind of like a kid at that time. He was, you know, a older teen at the time. So he was just like, I'm real strong right now. And Cell was like, all right, well, do something.
Yeah.
Do something then.
And followed by showing him that he could do literally the same thing. If you remember, Cell
Yes.
actually pumped himself up. Like,
Even bigger.
hey, bro.
He was like, now what?
Like, that's funny. I think that's funny because, especially because Vegeta did like he tried hard to get that form. Like, or like, you know, like they worked for that when Vegeta and Trunks went into the time chamber, and then just casually Cell's like, I can just do that. And then you get Goku when he was showing Gohan, and he was like, hey, look, I can just do this.
Yeah.
And just popped up, so it was just like, oh.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Because Vegeta was a little smarter about it. He was just like, oh, this is pretty much like the best Super Saiyan can be. And he was kind of right. You know, he was stronger than his Super Saiyan form, but it didn't seem like he was really slowed down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I like that they showed the little flashback of like Gohan in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, like giving his last little bit of energy at one point, and they showed like a little preview of like
Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the little flash, man.
Yep.
That was crazy. That was awesome. Because Goku's having the monologue where he's like, he's right there. I can see it. And,
Yeah.
and it does like the little, like, you see the hair for a split second and he just like passes out.
It was still fucked up of him to put him up against a monster, a literal monster, and just be like, he's got it. And then Piccolo's like, what if he fucking doesn't? Like, he's still 11.
Oh, and he gave him the sensu bean.
He sure did. Yeah, with the Saiyan cells that like when you get beat up, you get struck. But I don't think they Zenkai boosted him that time. I don't think they Zenkai boosted him until he died.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, or almost died.
When he blew himself up and Goku teleported him away. That's when he got.
Then he got that Zenkai boost, which was basically like they showed the lightning as if he had also unlocked Super Saiyan 2, which was funny. Yeah, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they were trying to like
implying.
Across that.
They're like he is part Saiyan, so it's kind of like.
I think that is a fair enough way to put it. I think he was technically Super Saiyan 2 in a sense.
Yeah, right. But yeah, just the jump in power too from the Super Saiyan form, which they had mastered, to Super Saiyan 2, it was just off the scale. Yeah, I don't know. I like that they went with a different design choice between Super Saiyan 1 Gohan and Super Saiyan 2's hair. Yeah, but that's my favorite.
I mean, I'm gonna piggyback off because it's pretty obvious. You know, there's no
Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Tetsu. Yeah.
I mean, my favorite transformation, like you said, Gohan Super Saiyan 2. It's so iconic. I mean, the first dude to do it, right? You know, he went Super Saiyan 2. He surpassed everybody else. Everyone was like, "Holy shit, this is it!" You know, even Vegeta was like, "Damn." Yeah, he's got me beat there, you know. And, you know what I mean? He's like, "This is it,"
which is kind of why he got mad in the Buu arc too, because he was just like, "You're that strong," and then he just now you're this.
Yeah. And but one of the other things I like about the Cell arc is all the new characters that were introduced, and also I really, you know, the Cell Saga was kind of the last hurrah for all of the Earthlings, you know. So Tien, the tri-beam blast, and he's like actually putting up a fight against.
That was such
so-
a good
I love,
scene.
yeah. I love how they used him there. Yeah.
That was a very good scene.
Tien,
Yeah.
I
Tien
really
just
like
doesn't
that
give a
scene.
shit. He just makes a fucking square in the earth, and whoever knows how far down it
Yeah.
goes, and
He's like, I'm just gonna be as useful as I can, try to hold them off as long as I can, and that's my job right now.
yeah,
That's it, yeah.
and, Krillin fumbled the bag a little bit. He could have blew up Android 18. He was like, but she's kind of hot. But no, I mean, even Krillin dished out his own way, his own stuff. He was doing solar flare, the destructor disc and all that stuff. And then, I mean, even Piccolo, he did what was the grenade move he does where he has
Hell something. Hellzone grenade.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that move was fucking sick, bro. He just makes all these orbs and just blows up like an entire island. You're like, holy shit, this guy is so good.
I did always love when they gave like the side characters a little power up or whatever temporarily, or just something to do.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's good storytelling to do that.
Yeah.
And,
for sure.
Keeps everybody relevant. You don't introduce characters and then just discard them and they don't do anything. So
Yeah.
that's always a good thing in any story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got, I mean, at least as far as I can count, we got so many different transformations in this saga. I mean, you got Vegeta going Super Saiyan for the first time. Then you had Trunks show up, or Trunks showed up first, and then was like, oh shit, there's another Super Saiyan,
Yeah.
and just chopped Frieza in half like it was nothing. And obviously
Right.
that was a whole big
Everyone
deal.
was sweating it. What do we do?
And then, again, like they started doing the whole grade. So it's like, oh, there's grade 2, Super Vegeta, and grade 3, like we talked about before, Super Saiyan 2. And it's just all these, just so much going on. There's just so many different forms. And it just was such an awesome arc. And I mean, again, the build up for Gohan, I mean, it was incredible just going into, and then, the hyperbolic time chamber,
Yeah. Super cool.
long haired Trunks, bro. Come on.
Oh,
He had the fit, bro.
Yeah.
He came out of that bitch like,
forget
I'm
it,
fucking
dude.
ready.
Yeah.
And then that's also, I love, he's like one of the only Saiyans that has a close enough resemblance to Broly. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
Broly was
Yes.
after the Cell Saga, correct?
Yes, Broly came out pretty much directly after the Cell Saga had concluded.
But then when they did it time wise, it was almost like it was during, like in between Android and Cell.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like
So Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan is actually one of the only Dragon Ball movies which fits within the timeline without any like issues. Like it could have happened completely canonly, and there's almost nothing that would be messed up by its existence.
What would it have been during like the Cell Games training?
No, because there was the
it
3
was-
year.
it
It was like
was-
the 3 year time skip from when Trunks came and was like, "You need to give Goku this." Right?
I believe I haven't looked at it in a while. I think it is like after they like left the time chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, I think because Gohan got Super Saiyan in the time chamber.
Yes.
So it was after they got out of the time chamber, but before the final battle with Cell.
Yeah. Okay, so it was training for the Cell games or so.
Right.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, again, I love that look of Trunks, and he's just so fucking ripped, and his hair. Again, I also love the hair. The hair just goes like super long, and I don't know. It almost gives like a foreshadowing where it's like, the more power that the Saiyans are having, the longer the hair, and like Super Saiyan 3, or even Gohan, his hair just fucking went super high for his transformation.
And now you got Beast.
And you got Beast, yeah. We got Final Flash. I mean, that's one of the coolest moves in the entire series, bro.
And like
Yeah.
the music for the English dub of the Cell Saga, the Cell intro, and like the Super Vegeta music.
The English dub score is one of my favorite aspects of Dragon Ball Z in my memories.
Yeah.
Um,
The Cell music, just like perfect Cell music, which is sick.
the Cell
Yeah.
music is very good. In the Boost Saga, you have the Otherworld tournament with Pycon.
Yeah.
Pycon's theme is one of my favorite soundtracks of existence. Like
Yeah.
it sounds so good. I don't know. Just there's a lot. The English dub had a very good soundtrack.
I just want to point out real quick, that was the only time the Otherworld tournament was when we saw Super Saiyan and Kaioken, because there was no Super Saiyan 2 yet. That was the only time where Goku was just like, you know what? I got to get that extra boost. Let me bust out the Kaioken.
Makes sense too.
And it's so cool too. And obviously now, we have the Super Saiyan God Blue, or fucking with the Kaioken.
With the Kaioken.
Or even 20 now or whatever it's up to. That was so cool. But back then, you were like, Kaioken and Super Saiyan? Holy
that pretty
shit,
much
bro.
pushed Goku to being as strong as a Super Saiyan 2. Because the Kaioken would give him a ×2 multiplier, which is what Super Saiyan 2 is. It's a ×2 multiplier off of Super Saiyan 1.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's just, but the Kaioken would put strain.
It puts an enormous strain on you.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the time that he did it, he could only do it for like a split second. He did it for 1 second and then punched Pikkon, and that was it. That was all you saw. It was super cool though. Like I really enjoyed it.
But yeah, going back to the Cell Saga, it's so iconic. You got the perfect way to end it, man. Just the Kamehameha battle where it's going back and forth, and Cell is just sitting there like this is easy, and then Goku the after image because after he sacrificed himself. And he's just like, don't worry about like the planet. We can wish it back with the Dragon Balls. Just go full blast. And I mean, I think even we were talking about it when we were working at ShopRite. You were like, Gohan's the only character to do like a one-hand Kamehameha while walking forward, and so like no one else has really done just like
a one-handed Kamehameha.
In at least far as I can remember.
They for some reason count the one which also shout out the Frieza saga, the Namek saga. They for some reason count like when they refer to it. When Goku blew away Frieza on that last part, they count that as a one-handed Kamehameha. I don't know why it's a different color. It's like I don't.
I never.
But they always refer to it. Yeah,
Kamehameha has never not been.
He didn't say the words either, but yeah, for some reason. But yeah, other than that was it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an iconic saga. It's so many great characters, so many infamous transformations, and. It's just one of those fights where, again, like I said earlier, I go back and I watch that fight every now and then, just like this is just so fucking badass.
Yeah, I used to rewatch that saga specifically a lot. Like as a teenager, I was into working out like as a older teen or like up until like 20 or so. So I would work out at home and just like throw on Dragon Ball episodes and just literally be a big dork. Yeah.
I'm not even kidding when I say this. I remember when I was going to the gym very frequently, I would literally have the teen Gohan Super Saiyan 2 theme where it's like dun 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 dun, playing in my headphones while I'm fucking just because I'm like, dude, this song is just so hype, man. I need this to give me that extra pump, bro.
Yep.
And the music just so iconic, and yeah, so that's my favorite transformation. That's my favorite saga. I would say coming probably like my other two favorite transformations below that would be Super Saiyan 4, because I think it's just, I mean, come on, you get the tail back, you have like
it's thought out.
It's like the Ozaru is coming back, you know what I mean? Like he literally had to turn into Golden Ozaru and then go back into kind of control that into a human form.
Even like the long, wild black hair.
It
hits. I don't know what it is. It looks so good. Like, even though it's like it's not gold anymore, like Super Saiyan usually is. Like, it's just that look is just and every time.
And I like how they kind of used that concept a little bit with Broly in the Broly movie. They were like, it's like he's using the Ozaru power, but like just in human form. Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. And I would say probably one of my other favorite transformations is actually one that's more recent, Super Saiyan Rose.
That was another one of mine too.
I don't know why. I just think like the pink.
Oh, it works.
It's so badass, bro.
I love it.
I like the black outfit that he wears.
Yeah, the black and the pink.
There's not even much explanation.
I was like,
yeah,
it was so good.
There's not much explanation to the hair color either. It's just like, it's cool.
Doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it.
And I think what was his quote? He was just like, I'll make this transformation my own, but it needs a name. It's like, I'll call it Super Saiyan Rosa. And I'm just like, damn, just so mean with it too. And he's just sitting there with his hand over his face. I'm like, damn, cold, bro.
Yeah.
I'd say that's
I don't know if any of you watch Super Dragon Ball Heroes, If you know,
I
what that
fell
is.
off of it. Yeah.
Oh, I keep up with it.
Yeah?
I keep up with it.
That's-
I know it's got the most wild shit.
Did you see the Super Saiyan 3 version of the Rose form?
No.
Oh my god.
That sounds like fan art.
It's
No, Dragon Ball Heroes gives you like basically what fan art would be, and they're like,
it's
fan
so let's do it.
It's a fanfic that's done by Toei. Like Toei animates it. It looks just like Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Super. Like it doesn't look like fan made or anything,
Mhm.
but it has all the stuff you'd imagine from like a fan art thing.
Yeah.
So they fought Super Saiyan 3 Rose Goku Black, and I loved it. He had like a mask on, and the mask that came
Whoa.
like halfway off his face. It was fire. I was like, oh my god, this is so fire.
No, there's a lot of cool stuff in that show. I mean, even they had what's the
they have Super Saiyan God Trunks also, right?
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
and
Yes,
then,
they do.
and it was the Goku in the Zeno outfit, right? Where it's like the red coat.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
the time travel, like the Xenoverse games.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The Xeno outfit.
so Super Dragon Ball Heroes is based off the Xenoverse timeline from
Mhm.
the video games.
Yeah.
So in that, there's 2 timelines of Goku. So you have Dragon Ball Super's Goku with
Yep.
Super Saiyan Blue and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And then the one where you saw with the different outfit that he has, that Goku goes Super Saiyan 4. He can't go Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of made it so like Blue and 4 were about the same,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah. and
which makes sense. In
oh,
my
it's
opinion.
beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see Super Saiyan 4 be so strong. Because
Yeah.
I personally love the form so much more than Super Saiyan Blue. The Super forms, they're cool, but like none of them are like Super Saiyan 4.
I like Super
Like-
Saiyan God, the tattoo
Oh.
I have. Super Saiyan God, that was sick.
Red's my favorite color.
It felt special, yeah.
Red's my favorite color, and I like how Goku's hair stays traditional, but it has
Yeah.
like that flowy nature to it.
Yeah.
Like I really like Ultra Instinct for that same reason.
I like
how
Omen
his
for
hair
that, yeah.
just stays normal. Even the silver one, it's
Yeah.
just like that's a cool look. It's cooler to me than the Super Saiyan going up. Like it just looks cool on him. Like
Yeah.
I really like those forms.
And Goku, you look younger when you're in the God form too.
yeah,
like,
you do.
It's very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Just the first God specifically. The second one is kind of just,
No,
regular again.
Super Saiyan Blue looks the same.
yeah.
Super Saiyan God, yeah, they give him
Less muscle mass, too.
less muscle mass. It's just a younger look overall.
yeah,
I love it.
because
I love that form.
if I remember correctly, the Super Saiyan God form is more about kind of like control and like more of like the key balance. Because like in the Broly movie, like when he grabs his hand and he kind of like is trying to calm him down,
Yeah.
and then obviously
Yeah.
Broly's energy just overtakes it, and then you just go into blue and you fucking all right. I'm using power now. Like forget that shit.
Yeah.
It-
I can't wait for, hopefully, I mean, I'm sure everything will continue. So I'm hoping they bring back super soon because they have so much written and just what they're doing with the forms and yeah,
I think the manga.
I can't wait.
3 arcs ahead of the
Yeah.
Tournament of Power now.
because even without, I guess they redid the what movie?
Superhero.
Superhero movie. Yeah, they just redid that. Now they're just past that. They did the Moro arc. They did what else? The Granola arc.
Yeah, wasn't it Granola first, and then it went to Moro, right?
No, I think Granola was after.
Okay,
Yeah, Granola, and then Frieza popped in.
but man, dude, little spoilers, but you're still reading up on it. Like,
Yeah.
you read,
Oh, yeah.
You what's happening now is crazy, dude.
Yes.
Do you read it, or do you wait? You have to wait for the
I
manga.
Haven't. Wait, you're talking about the manga, right?
Super,
The
yeah, the
manga,
manga.
I kind of not did the superhero retelling. I just didn't feel like it,
Mhm.
but I'm going to do it. It's kind of one of those like I just was like I'll marathon this. Like I'll do it all in one
Oh.
chunk.
All right.
But I haven't seen since they started the superhero retelling.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
fair enough.
That's fine.
Because I mean, yeah. To be fair, if you see that, you're like, they're just redoing it. But
Because of YouTubers that I watch, I do know, and I did see parts of the last chapter, so I do know what just happened.
Okay.
I am aware of what just happened.
Geekdom 101, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
you're
been
the one who
watching-
got me into him. Yeah.
I've been watching Geekdom since 2014. So.
Yeah. But dude, that new chapter
I'm
was crazy
excited.
because they brought fucking Gohan to Beerus's planet, and then now you have Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Broly all in the same place, bro.
Oh,
Dude, that's gonna be so
hyped for that. I mean, all them training together, maybe they'll.
What's gonna be the next big threat? I don't know.
Yeah,
probably leading into Black Frieza.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot he got his transformation. So yeah.
No,
Again.
I'm of the belief they're not going to do a Black Frieza arc.
No,
because it'd be too repetitive to do Frieza again for a third time. Give him a third arc. I mean, they could do that. I won't necessarily be happy with it. I think Frieza is going to play an anti-hero role going forward.
Well, because that's what he was in Tournament of Power.
Yeah, because think about it. If Frieza was in the business of killing them, he would have.
Oh, he would have done it. Yeah.
He literally
Easily
knocked them out and was like, I'm gonna go fly off and do Frieza things.
Yeah.
So if he
Who's gonna stop me
wanted
now?
he could have then. So I'm of the belief that Frieza is not exactly planning on that anymore. So I'm thinking the writing for Frieza is gonna go into more of an anti-hero type of role. Because like I said, if you wanted to kill him, you could have just did it right then and there. What's the point of waiting for them to get stronger?
So it's more or less that Frieza wants to keep that pedestal. I'm stronger than you guys.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what. I'm just making an assumption on that. But I have a gut feeling we're not going to see a Frieza arc again. I think that's done.
I mean, I agree. I agree with you on that. I hope that we get something new and original.
Bringing him back, and then after the Tournament of Power, Whis erasing his halo, he's back alive.
Yeah.
It's something about just how they're doing all of that with Frieza. I just don't get the feeling it's all leading up to just another Frieza.
It would be odd, because then, you're going to kill him again?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I just don't see it in the writing, personally.
Yeah. But I do wonder how they're going to surpass him.
I do wonder how they're going to surpass. Is it going to obviously?
I don't know if they're just going to make another form or what. There's a lot of forms now.
You know what sucks is that at this stage, at least with Goku, I mean, Ultra Instinct is made out to be the ultimate for he can fucking obviously instinctually just dodge shit without even thinking about it.
I'd like for it to stay that way personally.
So I'm thinking that just again, Goku himself is just going to get stronger base level, and Instinct will just scale with however much stronger he gets like that. And I mean, it's different for Vegeta because obviously he has ego, but he could probably surpass. I don't know.
He seems like he's ditching that too, though. I don't know. But I mean, also, Goku had that form, which was it looked like Sign or what. I mean, this is all spoilers for the manga, also. But
sorry.
But it looked like Sign, but then he was using emotion instead of just straight. Yeah. But then when he's about to fight Beast Gohan, he just goes Mastered Ultra Instinct, and Beerus is like, oh, so this is his best form? And Whis is like, yeah, right now. Yeah, pretty much. So, I guess he just got better with Mastered Ultra Instinct than whatever weird form that was, and they just decided to scrap it.
And another thing to note is Toriyama did state, a long time ago, that he wanted Goku's ultimate form to be his base. That was something that I had seen more than once, actually. I had seen as Toriyama's statement about that, was that he wanted Goku to move away from transforming and kind of be extremely strong in his base as his ultimate form.
Well, that's probably why he liked making Ultimate Gohan.
Yeah. A lot of the ideals he had for Goku did end up going to Gohan.
Yeah.
With Ultimate Gohan, because that was kind of the idea of where the show was going to go, and then he just decided to keep on with Goku for whatever reason.
Yep.
But I did see on more than one occasion that Toriyama said that base form was the ideal ultimate form for Goku. However, they're gonna get to that point. And I also think that's why they're ditching the whole Super Saiyan hairstyles with the new forms. I think they're slowly inching towards that with Goku.
Yeah.
Probably doing Ultra Instinct in his base form. That's what Whis was trying to train him how to do anyways.
Yeah, that is true.
So I could see it going that direction.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It just goes full circle.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just so good and I have all this knowledge.
Just a little key glow or something around him. That'd be sick. Yeah. Drew, what was your favorite arc?
Buu arc.
He said Buu.
It was the Buu arc.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to shout out the Frieza arc then, and just that was one coming home from school, watching it with my cousin, it taking forever. It was so hype. And seeing Super Saiyan for the first time, so cool. I mean, just had to shout it out.
One of the most iconic moments in anime history.
Yeah, literally in anime history.
I think that is the best Super Saiyan 1 has ever looked to this day.
Yeah.
I think the way that Goku looked, the way his hair was all fluffed out in that Super Saiyan, I'm talking about specifically the Namek arc.
Yep.
It's never looked the same from the Namek arc. Like
it looked
it had a
close.
specific look.
Yeah.
Where his hair was just puffy. Like it looked like it was just fluffy.
It looked close in the Android saga, but that was it. Yeah.
And then it kind of it did.
Yeah.
It did.
And then it was a lot of lines.
It started
and
to do
stuff.
more sharpness, but that original look for Super Saiyan, whoa, that looked super to me. Like it looked really good.
Yep.
There's one the scene in particular that I think you two are talking about is when Goku confronts Trunks and he's like, Trunks wants to test his strength. And he goes to slight, and he's like, "Oh, why didn't you dodge?" He's like, "Because I knew you weren't going to hit me." He's like, "All right, now let's actually try." And then when Goku and Trunks went Super Saiyan, you see his hair just like, and it's really
he
really flowy.
It still
man.
looked like it there too. It did.
Yeah.
I do miss that, man.
And
I do miss the flowy.
It was about the actual Cell Saga where it kind of got the more sharpened look to it.
Android 19 fight, it was also still pretty like just fluffy and a lot less of the lines.
Yeah.
It was probably when Vegeta went Super Saiyan and the animators were like, this looks a lot easier to draw. Let's just make sharp lines from now on.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, and speaking of Super Saiyan 1, your brother, huge fan of Dragon Ball,
Oh yeah.
wanted to ask what we thought about the Super Saiyan 1 design, like how it was originally supposed to be pretty much white hair and red eyes, kind of similar to how Beast is, and how we think that would have been versus, how it is now.
Yes, it was.
So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, that would have been a bold design choice. It's hard to say because, I mean, we could easily just go back and be like, oh, if he decided to do silver hair and red eyes, that just would have been the iconic look.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Gold hair became iconic because it was just what he decided to do.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us to look back on it and be like, what if it was white the whole time? Like, I'm assuming we'd like it just as much. That's my assumption.
Isn't that like you brought it up in the beginning of the episode when you would go on the internet and find the comics? Like, wasn't Super Saiyan 5 like with the gold silver hair,
the
whatever?
white.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, dude, holy shit. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously, we look at it now and it's just so iconic that you're like, there's no way you can look at Super Saiyan without gold hair.
I think I think the white hair would have been fine with the red eyes. I wouldn't have liked.
Oh, I would have loved it.
Yeah.
Think about it. Sonic has red eyes. Have you seen how cool Super Sonic is?
Yeah.
He's cool as hell.
I mean, even Super Shadow. Super Shadow has the bold red lines on him still.
If you ever took those, like I've looked at like art of Sonic, Super Sonic with like just black eyes, because his original design, because there's a classic Sonic and a modern Sonic. Classic Sonic, the first time they drew him, he had black eyes. Doesn't look nowhere near as cool. You give him the red eyes, it's like, whoo, chef's kiss. Like that is it. I'm down with the red eyes. I am. Like,
I hear you. Yeah. Yeah. The white hair though, I would have been fine with that because honestly, like in that arc, it was like super pale.
Yeah.
It was like that, like the Vegeta on your shirt with the very gold.
Yeah.
Like, that was definitely more closer to the actual Cell arc. But yeah, originally it was pretty pale, and I
mean, we
I
do
dug
have a look in on what it would look like. Beast Gohan has white hair and red eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
the largeness of the hair is distracting though, so I can't really.
Oh, it's so funny.
It is fun. It
I
is
haven't
funny.
seen it, so it's like comedically large.
Wait, you did?
You went
I
to
haven't.
you
I
went
Beast
haven't
Gohan?
seen it.
Didn't you go to the movie together?
Yeah.
Right?
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
you were there.
fuck. You're right. Oh my god. I was like,
You sure
that
have
sounds so
seen it,
silly.
yeah.
Oh my god, no, it is silly.
Yeah.
It is a little silly.
It's like
It's comically large.
it's
yeah.
comic. Yeah, it is comic.
It's like Super Saiyan 2.5. Like
Yeah.
they literally just like went in between 2 and 3 size wise and just.
Oh yeah, because if you look at Gohan's original Super Saiyan 2 design, his hair is up there.
It's pretty big.
His hair is pretty up there. I think that the Beast Gohan form. I mean, it's kind of obvious that it's paying homage to the original Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
The Cell
for
Saga.
that movie
Right.
specifically, they made Gohan go back to wearing the purple gi.
Yeah.
He went back to wearing the purple gi, and then when he does the transformation, he's standing there, and the stance he's making is exactly the same.
Yep.
When he first starts to transform, they do that thing where his face changes, and you see like
And they do the line go
the
through.
line go through.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
from the original Super Saiyan 2. That was a complete homage to the to the original thing. I really like how they did that.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah, it was so fucking cool, man.
But I guess
it definitely was.
the red eyes, I guess, would have made sense too because
Of
you know
rage.
initially they were like, yeah, you unlock it through rage, so yeah, that definitely would have made sense too.
I think the red with the white contrast hair is a nice touch. Also,
Yeah.
I think the red eyes works way better with a white hair design than gold.
Oh yeah, that
for sure.
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, the little.
Unless it's supersonic.
So I know we touched on some of our favorite characters. So I know Drew said his favorite character is Goku. I said mine is Gohan. But do you have like a personal favorite character?
It's so tough. Like I feel like there's so many, but I feel like my favorite character, she's like not even canon. You know, like is she not?
Oh, Android 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
No,
not.
As far as I know,
It's
she's
just in
not.
the game.
Well,
Yeah.
no, actually, no. In the beginning of
Yes.
in superhero when they're in the lab,
So
Yeah.
you see
that
it's
character,
her human form though. It's
just
not.
the human
Yeah.
form.
Yeah, so
But-
she does exist, but just not
Exactly.
Android 21
Yeah.
yet, or
Exactly.
as we, you know.
Yeah,
but-
yeah,
So she is in there. She got a little cameo
yeah.
when they showed like the family tree or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
So
right.
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe in the future, but I don't know. That was probably just like
that
hey,
design is
she's
sick.
Yeah.
She's just so cool.
Yeah.
She's so cool. I love her. But I mean, I guess like as of like canon characters, like when I was a kid, I loved Vegeta. I loved Vegeta. Maybe because he
lot of
reminded me of my
people do.
dad. Because he reminded me very much of like my dad, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know. Like I feel like he was like a big softie, which I loved because I was just like, oh, he's so cranky, but then you know he has like this little soft spot, and like you eventually see him become like such a family man and stuff, and I just like
Yeah,
I loved that. I loved that character development of him.
no,
Yeah.
that's completely understandable.
The scene in where it's Trunks and Vegeta's like sitting against a tree and he does like you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
He does-
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's like, all right, here, I'll give it to you. And Trunks also does like the peace kind
Or
of
it's like, even though it's not canon, you flash forward into GT, and then you see him literally being a dad. He has a whole ass mustache.
Yeah.
You know, he's driving around his daughter in the car. you know.
So funny.
Oh, I love it.
he rips the wheel off the other guy's car because they're like trying to hit on
I love
Bra.
GT Vegeta. GT Vegeta is that's my spirit animal.
Hell yeah. That's who I aspire to be.
Those pants, man.
What about you, Dan? Do you have like a specific character that you're like, man, I love this guy so much?
I don't know. Like I guess it really depends on the moment, but I guess overall, I lean a little towards Gohan. I guess just because, you know, the Cell Saga was my favorite. Super Saiyan 2 was my favorite. Beast Gohan is sick. But he has some bad moments too. You know, he has some real bad,
Oh, listen.
some dull ass moments. You know, him and Resurrection F. I'm like, what the fuck?
I am the world's biggest Gohan hater. I am the world's biggest Gohan hater. I am Vegeta when he was talking crap to Gohan about, you know, like, you know, what's
And
up
he-
with you, man?
And he was valid.
I've been that way about Gohan to this day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not giving him slack because he was cool in the movie. I need to see more of that. Like, I need to see more of that. I do not trust you, Gohan.
Are we gonna stay consistent, or are we gonna do the same thing again?
Yeah, that's why it's tough. Where like you take out those gaps, and I'm like, all right, cool. But like, he's a smart guy. You figure he would understand that, like, oh, my whole life, random other aliens have been trying to destroy my whole life. So maybe like I'll keep in shape. You know, you figure he would think that, but nah, he's just like, oh, we're good forever now, right? And it's like, why would you think that? why would you ever think that? But in his cool moments, it's so fucking cool. You know, Ultimate Gohan is so badass, but
He is.
yeah, he always gets that cocky thing up until just recently. You know, like when he first went Super Saiyan 2, he was like, you know, cocky and was like, I'm just gonna fuck around with you. And then he got his dad killed. Good job from doing that. And then when he was Ultimate Gohan, same thing. He got cocky and then he got absorbed. And then after that, they kind of reined him in where, like, I wish they had kept up with him training, but it was cool to see him in the Tournament of Power and just work with Piccolo being that kind of fighter, being like the strategic, like, still very strong, but like just working on like how to outsmart the enemy and use your strength at the same time.
Yeah.
If they had kept him there, that would have been such an appropriate, you know, character arc. but the Beast Gohan thing, it's sick. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere.
And not earned.
And I have my criticisms for. I'm telling you, I'm the biggest Gohan hater. I have my criticisms for days about that.
You know, it is interesting though, because you're talking about Gohan's cockiness, and he still has it. You know, like when he transformed into Beast, and like fucking Max Cell punched him, and he was like, "That's all you got."
Yeah,
right, now it's my turn.
He did it for a little bit. Yeah, he almost went right there for it, but then he kind of just was like, all right, let me just finish.
It is still interesting that he does have that little like, oh, I can kick your ass now. This is fine.
Yeah, but he's getting over it at least. But Beast Gohan is not earned, so I 100% get it. He just was super, like, you see him in Resurrection F. That's after a little bit of not working out, basically. He's not, I don't know, it's like he stopped training for 6 months and he's just like, forgot how to fight all over again, you know? And then all of a sudden he can be on par with, you know, I'm guessing Ultra Instinct, you know, they're about to spar, but I'm guessing he's on par. And by judging by Vegeta's reaction, he's possibly the same or stronger than Vegeta, and it's like, yeah, how, you know?
Like,
so I get it.
You go,
but I just love the
hype. One shot, mind you, by first form Frieza,
barely able to go Super Saiyan
in Resurrection F. He pulls up. He's like, "Oh, look at that guy!" Punches him in the stomach. He's done.
Yeah.
How do you go from that? You skip Super Saiyan God, Blue, Omen, straight to silver-haired Ultra Instinct Goku, and you're as strong as that. I have so many problems with that, but it was cool. I like it. I love the form. Just wish they did a little bit more on the upbringing of it.
Or even just literally, like, because my issue with the two was, like, they just came off of the Tournament of Power where he's the strongest he's ever been, you know, and not as strong as everyone else, but still the strongest he's ever been.
That's right. They did make a point to say that he, like, really broke out of his, like, you know.
Yeah, he mastered that Ultimate Gohan form. He was, like, the strongest he's ever been, but still not as strong as them, but still, like, he was using the Piccolo method and, like, you know, trying to be a smart fighter. And I was like, that's cool. If they kept up with that and they were just like, yeah, he's been training with Piccolo and stuff, and then he finally had to, you know, with Pan in danger and everything, had to unlock some new form, that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
You know, but they do it every time with Gohan. I don't know. But
Toei was just like, yeah, we need to catch Gohan up real quick. So,
but even just like, yeah, I've been training still. You know, but they made it a point to be like, he wasn't training at all, and Piccolo would be like, "Yo, bro, like, what if something happens?" And he's like,
"He's like, you're right, we got my dad and Vegeta, right?"
Yeah, literally.
And he's like, "Well, they're on another planet."
Yeah.
Well, don't we have? No, we only have you. Fuck.
Yep. Yeah. But I that's why I think overall, just because I don't know, for me, like, Goku is just. He's him. He's him. Yeah. So, yeah, but he's been him the whole time. So I guess that's where it comes in. Like,
he's never stopped being him.
That is accurate. That is very accurate.
That's why we have the meme where it's like, hey, I heard you're strong.
Can he be Goku?
Can he be Goku? Yeah.
Yeah, but can he be Goku?
I don't.
Yep.
I don't play around. Goku's been my favorite character from day one. Nobody taking that spot. The only person, like I said, is Gogeta, and he still got Goku in there. It's been the Orange Man from day I got his logo on my shoulder.
Hell yeah.
I didn't do that for no reason.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I guess just when it comes to the other characters, like even including Future Gohan in
super cool.
History of Trunks.
Super cool.
He was a badass, and I'm like, you know, moments like that is just where I'm like, Gohan can be so cool. And, you know, like Vegeta, you know, Vegeta has so many cool character moments and stuff too. Trunks himself, I mean, I don't like Super Trunks that much, like from Dragon Ball Super. I don't like him that much. I don't like GT Trunks, but Cell Saga Trunks, so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Drew's like, I got something to say about
GT Trunks.
No, I agree. GT Trunks is...
What are you doing? Like,
yeah.
They did the Gohan to him, but just kept him there. Like, practically.
Pretty much.
Like,
GT Trunks is kind of a sad soul.
Just whack.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's like...
Especially when Goten was so damn cool.
Yeah.
Goten was so cool. They gave him no screen time. Like, he was out there. He was getting the girls. on top of being just a Super Saiyan where he has different hairstyle.
Yeah.
And then, like his... I could go on for how cool that guy was.
Yeah. But yeah, GT Trunks didn't make any sense either, because it's like, what would have led us to believe that you would like go the Capsule Corp route? You know what I mean? Like he seems maybe slightly dumb. Not like... he doesn't seem as smart as Bulma. He's not like as smart as Bulma. He's not as dumb as like, Goku, but
yeah,
for better, and he's smarter than Goten, you can tell, but it's just like, none of that led us to believe he would just become like a Capsule Corp nerd, So I don't know. But yeah, I think overall Gohan, just like amongst his many different forms, if you just cut out that filler where he sucks, Gohan.
No, it happens every time, man.
It happens every time.
It's never not happened every time.
That sucks so much.
That image will haunt me, man, when he's just there, like... when Frieza...
The most
I'm like,
useless
no,
he's ever
man.
looked.
Oh,
The most,
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It's
you go back to the Super Saiyan 2 transformation arc. I mean, he was literally on the floor like, oh my god, I could have did a little better. I'm sorry, Dad. Like,
Yeah.
And just like... You should have, yeah. You're right. You're right there, my friend. Like you show up to Super Boo all tough, and then what happens to you? You get absorbed. How do you do that? You had him.
The strongest. You're so much stronger than him, and then what?
You can't catch the sensu beam. You guys can move at like the speed of light. How can you not catch the sensu beam?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know.
Goku would have caught it. Yeah. I mean, I can cut him a little slack in between the Cell Saga and like him being in high school, because I'm like, all right, you're just you think everything is done. You want to be a kid now. Like, I can forgive you for that time. Frieza, in between Frieza and Cell, like, he didn't really get weaker at all. He, I guess, kept getting stronger. But between Cell and the Buu Saga, it's like, all right, you think you have time to be a kid now because it's been 7 years. So, like, all right, I get it, But after that, you have no excuse.
Yeah.
Like, this is the third time you've had, like, a world-ending creature who wants to fuck with you guys, and then you still don't train. So, that's why it's... I don't know. But I guess still overall Gohan.
Hell yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I could get behind that.
There's just so many cool characters.
Yeah. I don't like what they did to Videl either. Videl was a character and then was just a mom.
Yeah.
she was like, like...
Oh yeah, Buu Saga Videl was a cool character.
Yeah, she was like badass.
There's so much potential in her.
Yeah.
She has so much potential.
Yep, just like as a human fighter, just like picking up on shit quick too, and just like had this cool attitude, and then she was just like
I like her
nothing.
outfit too. Like she had this long shirt.
Yeah.
The long shirt, like
Yep.
with the short hair. I don't know. She has a very nice character design overall.
She looked like a girl who hits people. Like she did.
When they were in the tournament, she got her ass kicked.
Yeah, that was unfair though.
Oh my god, that's a tough scene to watch.
Yeah, because he like breaks her arm too, right?
The guy's like 10'5", the size of a whale, and he's just pummeling the snot out. Oh my god!
Gohan's like, I gotta do something. Goku's like, no, stop, you can't.
He's like, this is reminding me eerily of some other fight that I was a part of. He was the Piccolo in that situation. Like, shouldn't we fucking do something? Like, no.
PTSD.
Goku be like, let her cook. She's like, she's a human. He has wizard powers right now. Like, what do you mean let her cook what?
Dude, it's crazy. We haven't really touched on the villains too much in the series.
Yeah?
There's a lot of different villains in the series.
Yeah? I mean,
you talked about Cell a little bit, Jen, because about his frightening aura and like his introduction and everything.
I think Frieza's probably the best villain, though, that they've had.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Frieza's pretty much Dragon Ball's Joker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
just keeps coming back.
Yeah, Frieza's probably because he has the most story behind him. He has all of his history with the Saiyans,
Space Emperor,
the Space Emperor.
Yeah.
Like he's a retail. He buys planets and sells them, and that's his thing. Like he's like a pirate, but like I don't even know, like a house salesman. Like he buys them to sell them. That's like his backstory, and then you get these Saiyans who show up, and he's just like, "Oh, I got it. These guys are trying to stop me. I can't let that happen."
And it's wild that they were
Wow.
like, he's more ruthless than his dad. They're like, you thought his dad was mean? Like, bro, watch out for
like-
this kid.
The buildup of Frieza, like when they were talking about how strong he was, and then
King
like,
Kai being like, do not.
yeah, pretty much. And then there was even like I think. Oh, and then they introduced Beerus. They introduced Beerus, who that's a character I'm still warming up to this day.
Because they keep being like, oh, Goku, he made him try. And then it's like 2 months later, like, he wasn't trying. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, what is it? Like, they keep moving like the barometer of like how strong Beerus is.
Yeah,
Like Whis,
It
I get
annoys
it.
me.
They never got into like Whis could be infinitely strong. Like they never got into it.
because even in the manga, like what was it? It was Moro. When Moro was in his like final form, he like threw like this giant fist, and then Whis comes out of nowhere with his fucking finger and blocks it. And it's like, all right, so still even now, like when
Yeah.
we're dealing with like Ultra Instinct Goku, Whis is still one finger like stronger
Yep.
than all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
So it all makes sense at least for that. But with
yeah.
Beerus, it's just like I don't.
It is
know.
hysterical that Whis is just like the strongest character out of all of them, and Whis just sits there and is like, "I'll let you guys handle this."
Yeah.
He interferes even more than he should still, but he's still just like, let's see what happens.
Oh, the little scene in the Broly movie when Broly tries to throw a few punches and Whis is like, "This is fun."
But yeah, he even has that moment with Broly where he's like, oh shit, he kind of got something there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think I really enjoyed Cooler. I think Cooler is so badass.
oh
bro.
yeah, Cooler is very badass.
yeah.
I kind of wish they'd bring him back, but at the same time, I don't think they will, which is okay. Like,
Gotta
I'm
watch
not gonna-
Heroes then.
But
Oh,
yeah.
he's in Heroes like hardcore.
Yeah.
He's in
And
Heroes for sure.
Doesn't he get a golden
He
form?
has a
yeah,
golden
yeah, yeah,
form.
yeah. I do remember
He
seeing
has a
Golden Cooler.
Golden Cooler.
But I mean, dude,
Yeah.
when you're a kid and you saw the Cooler movie or the whatever at the time, and then he just transforms and gets like the face mask, and you're just like, holy
He's like,
shit,
"I'm
this guy
even
is so
cooler."
badass. yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Janemba, come on, Janemba is just so badass. He does
Janemba
the
looks
line-
cool. He has a cool moveset. There's no character. There's not much character
Literally
behind
no
him.
character.
Yeah.
First, he's the big blob.
He's a little demon thing.
He's a big happy yellow blob. And
Yeah.
he becomes like this purple demon. I mean, like I said, like you said,
Design,
the design is absolutely stellar.
moveset is sick.
Moveset's sick. The dimensional stuff is all super cool.
Yeah. They
Um,
wasted that, honestly, on just it
I
being
think
a
so.
one-off movie. Like, if he had that moveset, like, as a mainline villain, that would be super sick.
Yeah. If I don't know if you remember, the Super Saiyan 3 transformation in that movie is incredible.
Oh my god, bro!
It's-
remember
Absolutely beautiful
Sean-
when you go Super Saiyan 3 in that.
Sean Schemmel would like. I mean, he did the Super Saiyan 3 transformation for just the regular show, like the canon part, and in that movie, I feel like they were like, I can scream even higher than
Yeah.
that. Though, and dude, his
I gotta
voice
go back
was.
and watch it.
Oh, it's
Dude,
beautiful.
holy shit! His voice
he
was
makes
crazy.
the entire the entire other world like tremble. Like it's incredible when it happens.
That's,
Yeah, I think what is it? The guy who checks everyone in. He's like, oh, I feel like I'm in a hurricane, and then fucking
Yeah.
and all the
And then
all like
it's
the all the worlds are like moving. They're like generating towards
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's just so strong, dude.
And then
so
it's like
badass.
since it's like a movie, and obviously the production value is like
Oh, it
so
looks
high
so
on it.
good.
Like the animation for it, it's so nice. Like when he finishes the transformation, he's standing there, and he's like, you see the electricity like bolting off of him. It's so fire. Like it's so fire.
And then
like,
he gets the badass Super Saiyan 3 voice where he's like, "You're nothing but just pure evil." You know?
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm gonna destroy you." You know, obviously I can't do it as cool, but like, you know, he gets that really deep like,
Yeah.
"I'm serious now."
yeah.
So fucking cool, bro. It's just so badass. Yeah. I mean, if we're just talking about looks and designs and movesets, yeah, Janemba is fucking badass. That is just so cool. But I mean, I think I would have to agree with Jen. You know, again, favorite saga is Cell Saga. Cell is one of my favorite villains. He's just the whole thing around him where he just wants to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why he was like he was like making Gohan. You know, he's like, oh, I can beat him if he transforms. Like,
Yeah, the
I'm
Saiyan
perfect. There's
blood.
nothing wrong with me. And then
Yeah.
he transforms, and then he's like, oh fuck. but you know,
As Vegeta did to him, he made the same mistake.
yeah. I mean, but you know, I mean, Cell stood on business, bro. He built the Cell games and was just like, I'll be waiting here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he just sat there, bro. He was like, I'll just wait.
He was
it's
like,
okay.
I'm the strongest. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, whoever wants to try and fight me, come ahead, or I'm gonna blow up the earth. And I mean, damn, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Boo is such a cool character too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Based on, like-
especially Kid Boo is just
Oh,
yeah.
pure evil, literally.
Yeah.
I love Boo so much.
Yeah, they're based on like the Jinn, like the evil genie type things.
Yeah. Mhm.
Super sick. Yeah, that whole like they never like go into that at all, but like it's just cool design wise. Like, you know, there's even like the lamp and all that shit, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Kid Boo is awesome, but I love Super Boo. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people love
Menacing.
Well,
yeah.
just because he
Yeah.
actually had dialogue and
Yeah.
you know could talk to them and like you know
I'm gonna
taunt them.
throw a
with-
wrench in here. My favorite Boo is Fat Boo.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think Fat Boo is probably my top. I want to say 3 or 4 favorite characters in all of Dragon Ball.
Really.
Oh,
I
hell yeah, okay.
absolutely adore that character. He's funny. I like him the most in the English dub. Even though I'm really into the Japanese version, but like in the English dub, like that voice he has is so perfect for his character.
Yeah.
And like I like how he becomes a nice guy. I like how he healed the kid's eyes.
Oh, he healed his
took care of
blindness.
Mr. Satan and the dog, and I don't know. He becomes such a sweet character.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, and he's just so strong.
Yeah.
He's so
Yeah.
strong. Like, and it's just like, no, that's my Boo right there. I love Fat Boo.
And actually, it's funny because when he healed the kid's blindness and he helped Mr. Satan and the dog, that was before he split. Right? That was before Fat Boo split and
Yeah.
and so
The dog getting shot is what made him even expel. That and Mr. Satan made him expel Evil Boo.
yeah. And then it's awesome because you know when he goes up to the kid and he's like, oh, you know, he's like holding the blast in front, and the kid's just like, I can't, you know, you can't. And you see Fat Boo, he's like, why you no fear me, whatever, and then he heals him, and he's like, all right, go on, move, you know, get out of here.
Yeah.
And it's because also that Fat Boo has the Kai, like you know
Oh,
what is it?
yeah.
What are
forget
they called?
which-
He has
Which
the
one,
Grand, the Grand Supreme.
Yeah, that's it. The Grand
Kai.
And so that like goodness, that goodness was coming out, and obviously you know when he split, that was just pure evil, and then the good side.
Yeah.
But I respect that. Fat Boo,
Oh, I love
awesome
him.
character.
I love that character.
I mean, he's still relevant nowadays. Obviously,
Yeah.
you know when they were for the Tournament of Power or whatever, and it's great character. So I respect that.
I love his getting in shape arc.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. I
love
forgot about
Get
that.
in shape.
I love that.
Fucking-
Yeah, he looked like Super Boo, but like with a happy face. on.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
was so funny.
I love that.
Damn, man. I mean, I don't know what more is there to say. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure we could go on and on about it
Forever. Yeah, that's just what he left behind. Yeah.
But I mean, how long have we been recording for?
An hour and 42 minutes. Yeah, so
Dude,
I mean,
holy
yeah,
shit.
we're all good. But any other words about Akira Toriyama, his
Well,
work, anything?
I mean,
We've said a bunch, but
rest in peace, man. He's going to
Yeah.
be the GOAT. Again, the influence that he's had on the entire world. I mean, again, you can't even, I don't even think you can count how many, just in media in general, not even just anime, but like media across all media, where it's movies, TV, whatever it be, you know, comics, there's just so much influence from Akira Toriyama that it's just, we probably wouldn't have some of the things that we love today without him. So,
Yep.
I mean, rest in peace, the GOAT. I'm going to miss him. Again, I was super depressed when I found out the news, but I mean, that's what I have to say. You know,
Like, I don't know, one thing that I'll always remember, and like, there's so many different animes that's existed. How many of them have crashed an entire online streaming service across the internet?
right.
Right.
That happened 4 separate times with Dragon Ball Super in the Tournament of Power. 4 times. I have not seen that happen since.
yeah.
I think the only other time that might have happened was when the Attack on Titan ending was aired.
Mm.
That was like you could barely get on, but you couldn't get on. I had to watch those episodes on Crunchyroll the next day.
Mhm.
All 4 of them. The Vegeta episode, the Jiren fights,
Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
When part 1, part 2.
Yeah, the part 1, part 2, and then the last episode of Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
All 4 of those, I had to wait the next day to watch them because I couldn't get on Crunchyroll. Something that's an official streaming service, mind you. Not even like an online,
They have service.
you know, like anime123.com. It's not that. It is Crunchyroll we're talking about. Like,
And then even in, what was it, like, in somewhere in like Mexico or Mexico City, they had like the whole viewing party. I don't know if it was
they
Mexico
had a whole
or
viewing
another.
party in
Dude,
Mexico in was it El Paso or something?
I don't remember the exact state or country.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact place that it was at, but yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, it looks like thousands of people.
Yeah, literally. Like, it was insane. I mean, like this meant so much to the Latino community. Like it came, like, you know, they had a hard time bringing it to the West, and the first place that they were able to was, like, Latin America.
Yeah.
Because they didn't censor anything. They're like, yeah, sure, well, we'll show it as it is. So, like, a lot of, you know, people from there were able to really start falling in love with the series, and, like, you know, they got a head start before it came over here. And literally, like, every single Latino kid, every single time is like Dragon Ball. Like, my brother, huge Dragon Ball fan, and that's the only thing he watches. He doesn't watch any other animes, and he doesn't care for it, but he will always keep up with anything Dragon Ball related. Like, you know, it's just like it had such a huge impact on the Latino community. I was seeing all those funny TikToks of it. Like, you know, it was like the white community, the black community, like, all having conversation, and then like the Latino community was sitting by the window, and they're like, no, don't talk to him.
He needs a minute.
He needs some time.
They're gonna fucking build a statue for that man. I swear.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I would not be surprised.
But yeah, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. He's gonna live on in his previous works, future works that were just inspired by him.
Dragon Ball Daima,
yeah. When they bring back Super, and yeah, anyone who goes back and watches his stuff and takes inspiration from it, we're gonna continue to see him in other works. But,
his legacy will pass on for generations, man.
Yep.
Even once we're all gone, it's still gonna keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Dragon Ball's gonna outlive all of us.
Absolutely.
It's a cultural phenomenon. It really is. And Dragon Ball's been big ever since he made it. Ever since it came to the West, it's been around. It's been around, and people haven't forgotten about it. You know, for a show to go, like I just mentioned, with it being the thing that like shut down streaming services. Think how long Dragon Ball was away, and then came back and was still able to like accomplish something.
Crazy
like
reception.
That. That's pretty big. Like,
Yep, because it stayed big.
Yeah.
Yep.
It stayed big. And it's probably gonna continue.
Yep.
You know, there's more movies coming out. There's a movie that's apparently in a pre-production phase. There's still Dragon Ball Super to come out. There's Dragon Ball Daima, which was his, like, you know, one of his projects directly.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot more Dragon Ball. It's just sad that, you know, he won't be behind it anymore.
Yeah. Won't get to see it fully realized.
Yeah.
But rest in peace. Yeah, and that'll do it. Thanks to anyone listening, and see you next time.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.